Hi, hope you're well. For those who don't know me, it's Ben from My Cycling Coach, where we've now helped over 500 cyclists achieve 3 watts per kilo and beyond with their power, fitness, weight. I make these videos as I've been doing this now for the past 10 plus years, the science, the practical application, what I've learned in my own training, but also that practical application with the coaching with those cyclists that I mentioned and individuals that we've helped. This week's topic then, what I really wanted to dive into is the exact nutrition protocol, fueling protocol that I use to drop 18 kilos of body weight whilst fueling an FTP increase of around 135 watts. Now, what I'm sharing today is what I found personally worked for me in my own specific journey, and this is a framework system structure that we are also implementing and have implemented with those 500 plus cyclists, and we have seen that has worked successfully. There's lots of stuff out there. Today I'm just going to share with you what we have found has worked and what I found personally worked for me to go from 93 kilos to 75 kilos whilst taking my FTP from 225 watts to 360 watts plus, depending on the time of year. So it's really, when we look at it, there's some steps that we need to follow just to establish where we want to actually get to with our body weight. It might be that you're doing this because you are looking to improve your watts per kilo. It might be that you're doing this because you're looking to reduce your body fat content. You're looking to improve your body composition. It might be that you're doing it for health reasons. There's obviously many different reasons out there why you might want to lose weight. For many cyclists, it's obviously, for a lot of us, is because we want to actually be able to ride uphill faster and increase our watts per kilo. But at the same time, what we want to try and do, and this is where it's finding that balance, is drop that weight, but actually then build power at the same time. So the first step when you're going through this process is, we're really going to refer to mainly just the nutrition and fueling today. I've done lots of videos on training, how to structure out your training week, what sessions you want to maybe try and focus on. Again, what we found has worked best in our practice, but also in my journey. Go back onto the channel, have a look through there. There's loads of content. Today, we're just going to focus on the nutrition and the fueling. So to begin with, identify the amount of weight that you would like to lose. So let's just say it might be, just an example, 6 kilos, a stone as an example, okay? Now, what you want to do to begin with is identify the base calories that you need to just sustain your normal day-to-day activity. This isn't including really any training, if you like. I want to sort of be quite clear that, this is including training. If you exercise might be, going and taking the dog for a walk. You might have a physical job that you do. You might go and just walk. You might have to spend time with the kids. You might take them out to sports practice. When I say your base goal, that should include those day-to-day tasks that I've mentioned there. So job, lifestyle, family, general things that you just do through the day that you have to fuel for. That is what is your base calorie goal is, okay? That doesn't include any training that you do. So for you, that might be cycling, probably is cycling if you're watching this video, but that could also include any other training that you're doing. So you may do some running, you might do some strength training, you might go to the gym, you might play other sports. We're going to put that into the training bucket, if you like. Base calorie goal just includes day-to-day activity, lifestyle that you tend to do most days through the week. So the first thing we want to do is identify that base calorie goal, and it's going to include, those things that I've mentioned there. Now, to do this, there are lots of apps, applications, online sites that you can go on just to help you find that. Obviously, a calculation of the amount of calories that you need to just sustain your normal day-to-day activity. One of the most common or popular ones out there is My FTP. There's some other ones out there. We've used My FTP in the past. I've used My FTP in the past, and I found it's worked really well. Okay, so let's just say, for calculation's sake, we're going to find that our My FTP, we put our goal weight in there. So we're looking to lose, just an example, 6 kilos. Okay. And what's really important is that you do include your day-to-day activity. So you be honest with it. If you are somebody that has a very sedentary job and you literally just sit at a desk all day, you go home, you don't have a dog, you might not have children, you're not really doing any other exercise, then you are very, the inactive, if you like, within the My FTP settings. However, if you have kids, your job is very physically active, you're on your feet all day, then you would be considered active or very active just in your normal day-to-day lifestyle. So it's important that you're honest with that activity level when you're setting that up, whether it's My FTP or whatever you're using to calculate this. As I say, there's websites you can do this online and just calculate where they're at. So say, once we've done that, based on your weight loss target and your activity level, let's just say that your base calorie goal, as an example, just for calculation's sake today, is 1,500 calories. Okay. So this would probably be, 1,500 calories. You might think that's actually quite low. So this is probably, if you're somebody that is not very physically active through today, you're at your desk all day, you're not really doing any exercise, apart from when you train, but I say training's in another bucket, we're not including that at the moment. This is just day-to-day, job, normal lifestyle, okay? So your base goal on a day where you're not doing any training or really any exercise, if you're really inactive, is 1,500 calories, okay? We have to ensure that we're sticking to that to be able to lose the weight. Now this would have been, it has had a deficit applied to it if you're using one of the calculations like My FTP out there or some of the other ones that I've mentioned. And if you're looking to lose 6 kilos for a certain period of time, My FTP has probably put you in a deficit of between 250 to 500 calories to get you to this base goal, okay? Now this is very sort of numbers, calculations based, and there obviously are factors in here. It's not literally, eat this and you will lose weight. For many it will be. There are other things out there. But this is our base calorie goal that we want to stick to. And My FTP has calculated the deficit for us if you're using that application or whichever one you're using there. Okay? So this is really for you if you're not training on a rest day. If you are doing some training, if it's a rest day where you're not doing any exercise, we want to make sure that we're sticking to the 1,500 calories there. Okay? Moving on to the training then, so let's just bracket this in this is a rest day. Okay? This is rest day. Let's say you're going to go and do a training session. Okay, so you're going to go and do a ride. Generally, if it's a ride indoors on the trainer where you may be doing some intervals and it's around an hour in length, you're probably going to burn anything between 500 to 750 calories on that ride. Okay? If you're obviously going and doing a longer ride that's an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours plus, then, and it's maybe an endurance ride that you're doing at the weekend, then you're probably burning anything between, again, 500 to maybe 1,000 calories. Yeah? If it's a ride that's got loads of climbing in, maybe in the Alps, the Pyrenees, the islands, and you're doing lots of elevation, you're probably going to be between 750 to 1,000 calories an hour. If it's a really cruisy, flat, zone 2 ride, you're probably going to be closer to the 500 to 750 calories. Okay, but what I want to try and emphasize is, let's just say if we're doing a 1 hour indoor session or just a 1 hour ride that you might be doing out on the road after work, you're going to probably be between 500 to 750 calories. Okay, and then if it's we'll just take this calculation and we'll say every hour, if you like. So whether it's an hour ride in total, or if you're going and doing a 3 hour ride, each hour is going to be around, depending on the intensity of the ride, 500 to 750 calories. Okay. Now, this is where the key part comes in, the balancing, how to actually fuel. Because if on a training day you're doing some hard intervals, threshold, VO2 max, some climbing, and you only eat 1,500 calories, this is where you're going to run into problems. And I hear a lot of our clients, customers, people we speak to, they run into problems, or they're trying to do this. They're thinking, being really aggressive on the weight loss, they'll try and sustain 1,500 calories for 7 to 10 day period, whether it's on a training or a rest day, and then find that they really suffer low energy, can't complete the sessions, recovery is struggling, and then it gets to the point where it's not sustainable, and they potentially then go back into habits, shall we say, where they maybe gained weight in the past, or they're at that weight where they don't feel they want to be at the moment. Yeah? So this is the key here, is that when you're on a training day, what I personally found really worked well for me and what we try to coach with our clients is that you actually add any calories that you've burnt through training to your base calorie goal. Okay? And this is great because My FTP or the website, the app that you're already using has already put you in a deficit. Okay? And this is where people can get confused. They think because they're trying to lose weight, they shouldn't consume the calories that they burn in training. And this is what will then lead to low energy, poor recovery, not sustainable nutrition, and eventually then you're not going to be getting anything from your training because you're just not going to have the energy to actually fuel those gains in power, fitness, strength on the bike or from your training and what you're doing. So the great thing about this is we're actually replacing those calories, which means we're using that to fuel the sessions and the training that we're doing. But by doing that, because we've identified this and we've done it as accurate as we can, without going into a lab and looking at metrics there, You're still remaining in a deficit, but you're actually fueling the training a lot better. Okay? And this is where we can then actually go into looking at, how much carbohydrate, how much protein, how much fats you should be having doing. So looking at that macronutrient distribution with it, if you like. But just as and I will do another video on that, and I have done videos on it in the past. But just as a basic principle today to really try and emphasize what can actually help you to find that balance of being able to drop weight and build power is by going through this process and looking at it. So actually, on a training day, if you have done a ride and you've burnt 500 calories, that means that on a training day, I'm just going to put train here, out of space, train day, based on this, if we burnt 500 calories on a ride, you actually have 2,000 calories to consume. Okay, basic calculations. Obviously, this will be individual and specific to you, your lifestyle, your job, what you are burning in the day with your base calorie goal and the training that you're doing. But just as an example, you then have, and this is a lot different, you're actually thinking, okay, yeah, 2,000 calories, based on what I'm trying to achieve here, this is a lot more sustainable. It might be for you, based on your goal, you might actually have 2,500 calories. You may even have 3,000 calories, certainly when you're doing those longer rides. But what this allows you to do is not then feel really so starving hungry, suffer with low energy, poor recovery, and not get what you want from your training. Fuel those gains in performance, whilst then actually being able to lose the weight at the same time, because just paying attention more to the calories and what you're doing there. I hope that helps. This exact method of what I've discussed here might not actually seem that complicated. Hopefully it does seem quite simple. Yeah? This is exactly what I did to lose 18 kilos and fuel gains of 130 watts. And we help clients at the moment, almost every week, every 7 days, one of our clients actually loses between 6 to 10 kilos and adds 25 to 50 watts to their FTP. And this is the basic principles. Obviously, it does need tweaking to the individual and you as an individual a little bit, and that's part of the coaching and what we do. But this is the simple framework that we follow to just identify and allow what allowed me to do it and what is allowing our clients to do it at the moment. I hope you found that useful. I hope that's cleared some things up. If you've been struggling, maybe with low energy, been too aggressive with your weight loss, been having an effect on your performance and your progress from your training sessions, or you might be in the other side of things, you might have been actually over fueling, feeling really good in training, but not seeing that the weight is coming off at the rate you would like it to. Give this a go if you're not already doing it, and you should see some great progress and things head in the right direction. If you're new to the channel, please, if you found this useful, hit a thumbs up on the video, subscribe. Would love to see you on here. As I say, I make these videos to try and fast track you to your goals with what I've learned, both with my own training and what we're working on with our clients and what we've helped them achieve, those 500 plus cyclists that we've helped now. Have a great rest of your day. Fuel smart, ride strong. Speak to you soon.